All right, guys, we're going to be talking about some thoracic mobility today. So thoracic spine is kind of the spot in between your neck and your low back. So it's all that stuff, all that spine area between those two. And sometimes this is an area that we get that mid-back pain in if we're sitting at a desk all day long. And a lot of times we think it's due to our posture. And now I don't necessarily want you to think that one thing is better than the other. It's not better to sit hunched over, and it's not better to sit with a perfect posture sitting up straight, right? I want you to just think that your next best posture is just your next one, right? It's just whatever position you go to next. So the idea is just to keep moving. Now, if we are having some back pain, one thing we can do is work on this thoracic mobility to see if that aids in kind of desensitizing some of the pain we have, or see if one position kind of feels better than the other, and then we know which way to go or to train. Now, if we want to look at thoracic mobility, one thing that we'll do is we'll get on our hands and knees here. And I want you to first find your chest bone, right? So your sternum. I want you to find your sternum here because that's going to be one of our points of reference, okay? As we sit here, hands are going to be by our side like so. We could put them out front, but that's going to be a bit more difficult. So we're going to start right here by our knees. Now, low back is going to play a role in this, but we want it to be kind of quiet for now. So I'm just going to tuck it under as if I'm reading my belt buckle. I'm going to try to keep it there. That's going to be its home for now, okay? So from here, thoracic flexion is this position, right? It's rounding out, and extension is pulling through with a proud posture. So we're going to alternate between those two, trying to be a bit more specific with our mid back here and not our low back. So I want you to find that point of reference, right? Your sternum or your chest bone here. And I want us to start in thoracic flexion. So I want you to round out as much as we can. And now I want you to pretend that there is a string attached to that chest bone, okay? And from here, I want you to imagine that someone starts pulling that string forward. And I want you to imagine they do it starting from your belly button. So I want you to imagine trying to bring that belly button and that lower thoracic spine forward at first, as if you're pushing towards the wall in front of you with just your belly button. Arms and shoulders stay where they're at. And then that string starts creeping up higher to your chest bone, and we start pulling our chest forward as that string is drawing us forward. Remember, low back tries to stay where it's at. Squeezing all those muscles in the back. We might feel some burning sensation back there. That's okay. We're working those muscles until we're pulled as far as we can with a proud posture. If we had a logo on our t-shirt and we were looking in front of a mirror, we should be able to read that logo right now. So we're in full extension, squeezing all those muscles back there, and then we can revert back to flexion. And I want you to do that by trying to pull away if someone had their finger on your sternum. Okay, so if someone was trying to stick a finger in your belly button and you tried to pull that belly button back with just that lower thoracic spine, okay, try to pull away, keeping that sternum where it's at right now as we flex the lower thoracic spine, and then start moving that sternum away as well. Slowly, one vertebra at a time, pulling the sternum into flexion here, coming into thoracic flexion. We can squeeze our abs to try to get more out of this here, squeezing as much as we can, and then once again going into extension, pulling that belly button forward first, just the belly button's coming forward, slowly going into extension with the rest of our spine. Remember, someone is pulling a string in front of you, and we are trying to slowly start reading that logo in the mirror, one vertebra at a time, okay? So we can alternate through this flexion and extension to see if this helps open up our back, see if this feels good, right? But remember, one position is not better than the other. We're just trying to kind of increase that mobility, get some movement in, and decrease those symptoms that we may or may not be feeling right now. Give this a try and let me know how it goes.